Hi guys, it's Sophie. So I thought it'd be fun to film a video today with Tom, and I've gone onto Instagram and I've asked him some questions for a Q&A with the pair of us together. And the reason we thought this would be fun is because we got engaged, which is really fun news, and we thought we haven't done a video together in a while. One of the very first videos I filmed when I was with Tom was the New York Times by the book tag, and that was with him in it. And we thought,
first week, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we thought it'd be nice to do like a full circle and answer some of your guys' questions. Okay, so the first question is, if you eloped, where would you escape to? Where would you go?
Is this together or independently?
Yeah, it's together. You have to elope together. Together means running away to get married.
Oh right.
So if like you were like, I can't be bothered with all the Wedmen, I'm off.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you go?
That sounds familiar. Yeah. Well, you'd have to like it. So I could make a decision.
Well, no, of course you could. Okay, so I'd go to the woods. I'd be like, we're gonna do some like trippy, completely different shit, and just like find like a nice piece of woodland and your mother, just like drag your mum to marry us like in the middle of nowhere, which I'm sure she'd hate. But yeah, I would just like go hide somewhere where no one's gonna see us, and then we'd get to leave immediately afterwards.
We could go to like the redwood forests in California.
Oh no,
cool.
Well yeah, but then
you
got
like really dark,
like
Blair
gloomy
Witch sort of, kind of. If we were
like
to get married
Exmoor,
in the
like
woods.
we could just like sneak up to Exmoor on like a Wednesday morning, get it done, couple of family in the forest, all sorted.
Creepy.
Yeah. Okay, so engagement story. I got engaged in September too, so congratulations. Do you wanna tell?
Yeah, sure. It's kind of been like a cooperative thing, so we thought we'd go for something quite modern, and we talked about it a lot before we actually got engaged. So for us, the most important stage was for me to ask Sophie's parents for their blessing, which was lovely.
Yeah.
I was really, really fucking nervous beforehand, wasn't I?
Yeah.
We drove up to Sophie's mum's and we kind of arranged a little, Sophie, could I just have a
minute for myself?
A minute to chat with your parents, and then it was, I'm quite traditional, so I had to ask that, and they were overjoyed, gave their blessing, and kind of from that moment on, it just felt, that we were engaged. Yeah,
and I think because we knew all of it, so like I was upstairs pretending to put on a pair of leggings like as slowly as humanly possible, because we all knew and we were all involved, we called Tom's parents as well and made sure that they were all happy, and when everyone was, we were like, so it wasn't like a total shock surprise, it was completely the other way around. We were both just like, we want to make a grown-up decision, that we want to stay with each other forever, and that was what mattered, and it wasn't the like optics of
the optics.
Yeah, you know what I mean, like they're like, oh my god, you hiked up a mountain, and why did you bring my best friend? And I never knew that kind of...
Oh god, yeah. I would have liked to have proposed underneath a tree. Yeah,
the ring hasn't arrived yet, or I'd show you, so you can still bring the ring to a nearby tree.
Yeah, you'll just be like, why are we under a tree? We're like, you bloody well know.
Let's go to the one in the garden.
Yeah.
The next question is your relationship going to be open? And no, I don't know how I gave that impression. No, our relationship wouldn't be open. It's the kind of thing where I just don't feel like that's something that I want in my life.
Neither do I. Yeah.
I've known people who've had either totally open, like polyamorous relationships, and people who've just had more open relationships, and it scares the shit out of me. So that's just not one for me, not one for us. Yeah. So the next one is, how did we meet? And actually, a few people asked this. We'll answer this for the lot of you.
I'm taking this one. So it was the greatest of romantic moments, which is a swipe on Tinder.
Yeah.
But I suppose the circumstances of us meeting,
though?
So first we chatted on like Skype sort of thing, but I was, if you followed the channel, look at me. Yeah. So if you followed
the YouTube shit.
Yeah. I was, deep in Exmoor in the family cottage, living with agoraphobia, and just didn't leave the house. So Sophie had to take a bit of a leap. Bloody brave leap. She just learned to drive.
Like
I was living literally middle of nowhere, country roads, kind of, and it was pissing it down. She came to see me.
I didn't know how my windscreen wipers work.
I could have been a serial killer very easily.
Yeah, and I turn up and it's not just Tom. There's 2 other men in this house that I A, wasn't expecting, and B, have never seen before.
To be fair, I wasn't expecting them either. They were just 2 mates who had just turned up that I hadn't seen them for like a year, and they were really cool, weren't they? They serenaded you on the guitar.
They sang me a song on the guitar.
Yeah. Check them out, Rue Paynes, if you want, a good artist. Yeah.
But yeah, so it was on the internet, but I think we have a weird meeting story anyway.
Yeah.
And the next question is, how do you guys balance looking after each other's mental health? And I think this is a really interesting question because I don't think this has ever been a problem. Like, would you say the same? I think we're both quite attuned to stuff, and we can both have a bad time at the same time without it being like one of us has to take on the caring role. I think we can do, this is actually just shit, and we both feel quite shit, and both feel quite sorry for ourselves.
That's really important, isn't it? Like if we're both feeling shit, it's not like it's this calamity and one person needs to suddenly buck up and look after the other person. It bloody well works.
You're just like sad together for a bit, as well as being happy together. And then like sometimes, because I think it's quite helpful though, because the kind of things we have are very different. So whilst when I'm not doing so well, I might feel more nervous or more anxious, anxiety isn't my thing. No. And Tom, his emotions aren't his thing. It's the anxiety symptoms. Yeah, so we can rationalise each other out a little bit, even when we're both being sad, because we're not in the same kind of sad. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So I can be like, oh no, I know, I might feel really depressed and like impulsively self-harmy, say, but Tom wouldn't have that as an experience. So you can kind of be like, okay, what's going on? What are the emotions behind it? And you might be panicking.
I might be panicking, but I'll be like, let's get the ice bucket out.
Yeah.
Get some DBT skills.
I think we're just we don't judge when each other's. Like, we don't judge that as like, you aren't looking after me. I think there's no resentment for the idea that you might not be tip-top all the time and I might not be tip-top all the time.
It's like if you broke your leg. I'd just be looking
and
after
I also
you,
had a broken leg.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be hobbling around trying to get each other, I don't know, cups of soup and tea.
How about, I found this really good way to wrap your hands so you don't get covered in blisters. And you'd be like, that sounds
awesome.
helpful. The next question is, what country would you like to travel to? So we haven't gone abroad yet, mostly because of aforementioned agoraphobia. So I don't know. I think we'll probably start when we're going to start in the summer, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a lot of countries. Yeah. So
But it's where do we want to go together?
I know, but I don't want to revisit a country I've already been.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to go back to Israel, but...
See, I've always wanted to go... I've talked about that, I think, on a Q&A here before. But I think it's important for the first time that we go somewhere together that it's not somewhere that one of us knows like really intimately or has spent a lot of time there having other experiences. Yeah, I don't know that I have a list of countries in my head that are my like must-sees. I think I have... I have some.
You want to see New York? So
I really want to go to New York, but Tom would hate New York. So it's kind of like, is that something I do on my own? Do I wait till I'm like 50 and then like have like a ladies like solo adventure around America? Do you know what I mean?
We could make like a compromise. So it'd be like we could go to New York and
New York State, but not New York City.
No. So we'd spend like a week in New York, and then for the next week we went to like the Rockies or something.
Yeah, but that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
but
you'd get two
but you'd have to manage New York.
I think I can manage it.
Do you?
Yeah.
We'll see. But I don't know.
Yanks are lovely, aren't they?
I reckon we should just go somewhere hot and chill. We've talked about Greece, but somewhere in Greece that Tom hasn't been.
Yeah.
Which I think could be really nice. Or
Sicily.
Yeah, or just like anywhere that's just kind of like warm and relaxed. Because whilst I really like wandering around and doing like walky city stuff, I think probably more relaxed is better for your first few times away post like the bad agoraphobia
Your last was
times.
Stockholm, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
When do you want to get married is the next question. Big or small wedding? So we want to get married in 2021, probably in the spring or summer or autumn, one of the above. We haven't really done much like planning yet. To be honest, I don't know what to do or where to start. I literally this morning was like, I'm gonna just download some spreadsheets so that I can get a sense.
Of course you did.
I think it's gonna be fairly small. I think we reckon there's gonna be about 50 people there.
50, 60,
Yeah. I reckon it'll be more like 40, 50. Yeah.
But I think we were both quite a little bit panicky a couple of nights ago, but then this morning...
I don't think I was panicky.
I was a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Yeah, I think this morning we recognised that we could have kind of the actual event. We didn't really think about the personal aspect of it. So a friend of
I was just getting
Sophie's.
super excited. Like, what Tom's referring to is that we kind of were trying to figure out the finances of it, and that felt a bit like, okay, it's a lot of money, and what are we going to do with it? And there's a lot of tradition. I think what you mean is there's a lot of like traditional things that are expected that happen as part of a marriage, and then.
And I'm on a nurse's salary.
Yeah.
And, that's bugger all.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we were kind of like, okay, how do we fit in all these things that people expect? And then I'd had a conversation at work, and then relayed it back to you, and it was kind of like, actually, you just do what you want to do. Like, there's no need to do that thing if that doesn't appeal to you, and if we just wanted to do these 3 things, we can just do those.
We're going to have lots of books on the table.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I'm excited for.
And then the next question is, what's your perfect cosy Saturday night in? Go on then. What? I think we do this every day, every evening.
Like, you don't need to put in at the end of that sentence.
Yeah.
Just what's your perfect Saturday?
Just your perfect night.
Yeah. We love the sofa fire, books, blankets.
Yeah. Cats.
Maybe a good movie occasionally.
Yeah.
A few video games with me.
That's about it. I think
that is it.
I think we're not like outsidey people. Our Saturday nights do not involve any clubs.
What are you talking about? We just love popping moves and.
I can't even remember the last time I went to a club.
Shit, I was a student, and I probably hated every single moment of it.
Yeah. No, not that kind of Saturday.
It's not us, I'm afraid.
And the next one was, what are you thinking about for wedding and house updates? So to be honest, I hadn't thought about doing any wedding related content, and I don't even know what that would look like. We don't think we're going to have a video for our wedding, so I probably wouldn't share anything on here for that. And I kind of think the planning of it's probably boring. That's my overarching feeling about it. House updates, I'm going to keep going. We will be doing some decorating downstairs in autumn 2020. And we'll do lots of garden stuff in the meantime as well, which is going to be really exciting. I'm actually like absolutely so ready to go in the garden and start like weeding stuff. I thought about it this morning.
I'm so tired.
When I first got up, it looked really like light. It was so frosty, but I was like, I could just go out. I could just not do any of my study, and I could just go and pull weeds out for 2 hours.
I did a 14-hour day yesterday, so a lie-in was necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next one was, do you ever read out loud to each other? I mean, I do.
You do all the time, don't you?
I read Tom like mostly snippets of non-fiction.
Or a really kind of what you consider a beautiful line of prose, and I'm always like, it's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes I'll read Tom's as a joke. Like, I'll read over his shoulder.
Yeah,
like,
you take the
if there's
piss.
a particularly like, because Tom
Such a dick.
pretty much only reads fantasy. There's not really anything much else that you read.
So I'll give you an example. So if that phone right there was my book, she'd be like, and the orcs delved deep into the earth. And I'm like, shut up.
If there's like a particularly like fantasy line that I'll see, or like if the author uses really descriptive words instead of in place of said, so like growled the man, or like you know, like that kind of stuff, I'll read that sometimes.
That highbrow literature, you know about it.
The next one was, what book would you suggest the other that they haven't read yet?
Well, I was talking about this this morning. I would go for, I know it's a long ass read, but Prior of the Orange Tree by
Samantha Shannon. Is
okay.
that right?
I have no idea. But it's got a dragon on the front.
Yeah, it's
and
orange.
The 2 protagonists, there's the queen who's lesbian, she's lovely. And yeah, you love your
Is the other
Gigi
girl a lesbian, or is she bi, or is she just like
completely
undefined?
forgotten. Completely forgotten.
It's just long. Like, I feel like for a first like good fantasy, it is like 1,200 pages long. It is a time
It's a
commitment.
breeze.
I don't know.
What would you recommend to me?
Tom, you probably have what, like 10, 12 books upstairs that I've.
Shit, you recommended the non-fiction medical ones, which are good.
You haven't read it. You haven't
I
finished.
both of them.
Have you?
Yeah.
When?
Over Christmas.
Did you finish
I read
both?
the
I know
night
you
shift
started
before.
them.
So it was the Night Shift Before Christmas, and what's the other one? That's Total Bollocks. I have finished them.
What happens? What? Okay, spoilers for Adam Kay's first book.
Mhm.
This is going to hurt. So if you haven't watched those, give us 2 seconds. What's the sad story in his life? Why is he no longer a doctor?
Does it say that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I didn't finish it.
He didn't finish it. I knew he didn't
I got
finish it.
really bloody far. Fuck.
Oh god, okay. Calling you out on the
I know,
internet.
it's some bullshit.
What's your favourite thing about each other, if you don't mind sharing? What's your favourite thing about me? You can do me first. You have to be nice.
You have to be nice.
Fall into a crippling depression.
Um,
I can do you first because you can't think of
But
anything.
like the favourite thing, that's like saying what's your favourite book or film. That's horrible.
Well,
Your favourite thing about
what's
you.
your favourite thing?
Your kindness.
Yeah, then I think mine's probably the same for you.
Is it?
Yeah, or either that or like, if I thought about my favourite thing about Tom that's like between us, it's our communication. That's really what came to my mind first, was like the way we talk to one another and how we check in with each other and how honest we are. But that's, I think what lets me do that with Tom is that he is open and that he is like in tune with his emotions and is okay with the fact that you have emotions.
Yeah.
Because if you were like, I know sometimes you struggle if it's things that feel uncomfortable or feel quite strong, but I think you tend to know what you're feeling, even if you might not always want to dive into it super deep.
Yeah, but then
that's-
because of the fact we communicate, you're able to then get that out of me, aren't you?
Yeah, and then at least I can kind of get the sense of where you are, even if not all of it.
You're not going to judge me on any of that shit.
No. The next one is, what do you do for each other if you've had a bad day? You want me to go first, or do you want to go first? You want me to go first? If Tom's had a bad day, I think I just tend to kind of like throw food at you, like a variety of food, maybe like cook you dinner, and just like he'll snake away upstairs, and I'll like make something.
I'll
that I
hide.
think- yeah, I'll make something that's really nice. You just blew in my face.
Sorry. A bit two-faced.
And I think I tend to like try and recognise where he's at. So sometimes he'll want lots of hugs and attention and like petting, like he's okay,
Oh, it's
you're
getting
gonna be
explicit
alright.
now, isn't it? Shit.
But then other times
Yes.
you just want to hold away, and I think it's just letting you have that time to just go and like play CS for a few hours if that's what you want to do to make it. Yeah, your cat is furry.
That's your cat.
It isn't.
It's like bluey silver.
No, that is Brahms.
Okay.
Yeah, that is Brahms.
Yeah, yes, that's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
What
So
do
what do you do?
we... See, I think that question would have been better from each other's perspective. Like what? So like, if I was like, okay, so when I'm feeling, when you're feeling shit, what do I do? And
That is what it is.
no. So when you're feeling shit, and you go, okay, what does Tom do? And then you answer it.
Right, but I've already answered half of it. So
Okay,
you're gonna have to.
okay.
You're gonna have to give it a go. Or it's
That's
gonna be you
fine.
twice.
Oh, I'm so uncomfortable. So what do you?
What do you do for me if I'm sad?
Okay. Flowers are good.
You hardly ever do flowers if I'm sad. I think it's way more of like a kind of similar. Throw food at chocolate. You'll go to the shops and buy me chocolate when
I've
I'm
just been
sad.
called out about the flowers. I do get you flowers at work.
Occasionally, but I wouldn't say like every. I don't think it's like
it's
a
not
pattern when
yeah.
I'm sad.
Yeah. Food is really important.
I
I
think
always
it's
go to the
chocolate,
shop,
yeah.
get a shit ton. Always get a shit ton of food. Make sure I cook something nice for you.
We do the same things.
We
though.
do identical things, don't we?
You bring me my cat.
Bring me a cat. If it's like, if you're really upset, then make sure any like techniques, I just remind you of all the things you can do.
Bring my DVT book.
Yeah, exactly. Ice baths, all of that shit.
Yeah.
Blankets.
He's referring to the tip skill. Just if anyone knows DVT, I'm not actually being made to get into ice baths.
Shoving her in.
And the next one is, who is the little spoon? I think I'm more often the little
Because
spoon.
you are little. Little.
But we don't like spoon very often. I'm a big fan of the separate duvets.
Oh, she does love that. But then again, so do
I just cocoon.
Because apparently I am a bastard in my sleep. I am.
You just kick. You just kick.
I have bad
While
dreams.
you're asleep.
I have bad dreams.
So I've just learned if I have a duvet and I just cocoon, and then we kind of cocoon next to each other in the duvets.
And then if one of us wants a spoon, you kind of like worm
You have to,
your way
like-
underneath and kind of lift their duvet
Hello.
up. Hello.
So the next one is, what's something weird you learnt about each other after living with one another? And I spoke to you about this earlier, what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You didn't think about this for me, I don't think. But you
Because
just
I'm
tell me.
so focused on myself.
Yeah, I think probably the thing I didn't expect, it's not that weird, but I just didn't expect, because Tom's not the tidiest of humans, and I am a really tidy human.
Confronted. I've just done a whole hour of cleaning.
You have,
Mhm.
but he will mention that for the next 2 days. um, so, yeah, so not the tidiest person, and I'm a really tidy person, so I think we've had to kind of compromise somewhere that's not ideal for me and less, like, messy than you'd normally have.
Yeah.
But the thing that I think I didn't expect was the fact that Tom will take like every single drinking utensil into his room, like a little cave, like a dragon. He like hoards glasses and mugs, apart from one mug. You always leave me, even if there's no glasses and no wine glasses and absolutely nothing left, there is the smallest mug that we have.
It's because it's a right nuisance to have to go downstairs, clean out the mug and pour a new cup of tea or coffee, whilst there's just a mug hanging there. Does that not make perfect sense? And then you just wash it all up at one point.
No, you just take your cup with you. You don't have to wash the mug every time.
Yeah, because you get that little line, the
Doesn't
coffee
matter.
line.
You still have to wash it once. All you have to do is pour the tea away, and then like rinse it, and then new tea, and then that'll do you all day.
I bet that might.
Yeah. Go on then. What weird thing did you learn about me?
Bloody catalogue of that. Just how attached you are to the cat. I mean, it's outrageous how attached she is to the cat.
Yeah, she's not in here now. We've locked her out because she was scratching, but
Yeah,
most
I
of the
think
time she's attached to me.
if any of you have got kids, yes.
Yeah, I do base like a lot of my conversation and attention on Foz. But you accept it.
Of course.
Yeah.
She's beauty.
Okay, so the next one was how are we doing, like in a wide sense, so like emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
So we're talking that holistic approach.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, long word I learned at work.
Yeah.
Ah. Sorry, my back.
Put your feet down. Just sit like you're sitting on your chair. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing amazing.
Yeah.
I feel really happy. I'm coming off my mental health meds under doctor supervision, and I feel just like so much better for it, and I think I'm very, very happy.
You've got some activity as well, like.
I've got some energy, yeah.
Activity is the wrong word, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean that it's not so much that I'm doing loads, it's that I feel like I can do more and not feeling so tired and just buzzed out all the time.
Yeah, because you're doing yoga a lot more now, aren't you?
And I just feel like at the end of the day I feel less wiped. So I think I'm doing really well. How about you?
I'd say the same actually.
Yeah, I think you're pretty
I had a
happy.
bit of a wobble over Christmas because I just got so tired at work and.
That was before Christmas, wasn't
Was
it?
it before Christmas?
Wasn't that your November break?
I don't know, but I don't know because I work in a psychiatric hospital. It's very. I think my problem is self-care, so I spend a lot of time working with other people and trying to make sure they're all right, and then a lot of the time I neglect myself.
Yeah.
Both physically, emotionally, spiritually is
Yeah.
not something I'm focusing on at the
Yeah.
moment. But yeah, but apart from that, I'm really happy. Yeah.
I think for Tom it's less about that you're not giving yourself stuff because you don't like yourself, and it's more about reminding yourself that that's important too.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's like a punishment thing, just in case anyone's like super worried.
No. Oh.
Okay, so the next question is, have you adopted any of each other's habits? Kind of, I think the thing that came to my head first was that I do think I'm a bit less anal about how everything has to be around the house. It still upsets me. I'm still aware of everything and where it is and where it's wrong, and like I could sit here and tell you everything that's out of place in the house from here without looking at it. But
How was my clean just now?
Sorry?
So I just cleaned the house.
Yeah.
Is it acceptable?
I can see dirt from where I'm sitting.
I tried very hard. Oh shit.
Yeah. But I don't have to fix it immediately, which I used to. So I think that's got better.
You become a bit more laid back.
Maybe a little bit, but I think more it's like I can control my ability to not fix
You've got something pressing on your phone.
shit.
Yeah.
I was just trying to unlock it so I could see. What have you adopted?
What have I adopted from you? Bit of a work ethic. So it's kind of like how you had that, maybe I'd say you're a bit more laid back. I now maybe can focus on doing things because I've always been. Sophie suggests it might be ADD, and it kind of fits, but it's often been. There's also a bit of laziness. I can't.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it's probably that Tom does struggle with his concentration, but also that sometimes you do know you need to do something and just don't. So
Yeah,
I think maybe,
yeah.
but yeah.
But yes, that has improved since meeting this one. She's it kind of wrapped off on you. She's got to do things.
And the next one was, where do you see yourselves in 5 years? And I could tell you my career plan, but I don't think I could tell you like my life plan. Like, so I'm 26 and you're 31. So by the time you're 36, are there any life markers?
That's terrifying.
So I think we'll probably have a baby
Yeah, I think so.
within the next 5 years.
Whether that's adopted or not.
Yeah. I think we wouldn't move out of this house until we had a baby. I think we'd probably stay here. So either would have just moved into a new house with a baby.
Yep.
Or we'd still be here but be thinking about moving. That's my
I think so.
guesstimation.
That's right. Do you think you'll still be doing BookTube?
I hope so. I hope it's still a thing. I feel like at some point it will die. Just because I do. I feel like it will move like onto things like TikTok, maybe, that there'll be much more like short form, like, oh my god, I love this book, this is what I love about it, bang, bang, bang.
What, with some music in the background?
Yeah, I do. I worry
awesome.
about YouTube. I don't know if YouTube will be around in 5 years. That's a big statement, isn't it?
Yeah, that is big. Well, Patreon came about, didn't it? And that took
And
a
I got
portion of people.
an email the other day from Discord to be like, you know, they do their like
I
streaming.
didn't know that. No.
Yeah, to be like, oh, YouTube, you know, you have got all your audience in one place. What's your biggest pet peeve about having a public relationship? To be fair, I don't show Tom off that much.
Show
here.
off.
No, you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I involve you in most of my videos are me and just my face.
Yeah, it is. It's just I usually find it's either something like this or a vlog where I'm just holding the camera basically.
Yeah, or it's just like the back of your head.
Yeah, very much.
There's Tom.
Yeah.
So, because I think part of that is I think it's really hard to show and be honest about like what a relationship looks like through the lens of occasional videos, and I mean that in the sense of it's natural for relationships to have ups and downs, and there'll be times when I might be annoyed at you, or times when I just really want to spend all my time with you, but I think when you have a relationship that other people see or maybe like or dislike,
It's got to be the best parts of that relationship, doesn't it?
yeah, and there's
Or
like
at
a
least
lot of judgment on
acceptable.
it.
So in reality, right, we might have looked really lovely this entire time. The second this is off, I'm going to go in the kitchen, she's going to beat me.
Yeah, just slap you. Put the mugs back. Where are you hiding them? But no, you know, it is that kind of like, you have to be fair to what a relationship actually is, and that can be difficult to do in small snippets.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why this isn't as on camera as other bits of my life
It's
are.
BookTube though, isn't it? So the focus should be on the books.
Yeah, but then I guess like I can think of quite a few creators who have more involvement with their partners in the way that they do that, even if their partner is not a huge reader. But that just isn't. That's not
dynamic,
what
is
feels
it?
comfortable. I like doing stuff like this, but just not constantly. Okay, and we're on our last question. This has been a long video, so I'm hoping that I can cut this down to be somewhat user friendly. But it's, what are your and Tom's current reads? What are yours? What are you reading?
I've got an audiobook and so my audiobook is just on the way to work. It's The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. Probably for like the third time I've listened or read to it. And I'm reading the saddest possible shit on my Kindle, which is Lit RPG.
What is it? What's the book? Who knows, maybe these people love little RPG.
You know, I'm really bad with the names. I think it's called like Chaos Seed, and it's like World of Warcraft in a book.
There you go.
Don't mock me.
And I'm reading The Five by Hallie Rubenhold and On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Wang. I think it's Ocean Wang. It's not there. I can't check myself. And I'm really enjoying both, but I've just been a little bit slow. I've got a lot of energy from the meds, at the moment, and that can make it quite hard to actually settle my brain down to sit and read for a long period of time. But I'm doing my best. I am really enjoying both.
Explain it. Okay, Sophie has asked me to close up this video because she just used the word hopefully 3 times in 6
And
sentences.
he called me out on it, and now I can't do it.
Yeah. Like, I'm a meanie, aren't I? Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video.
We'll see you guys again soon.
That's the
for
one,
another
isn't it?
video.
Yeah, and if you've got any comments, then yeah, just crack them below. I think they're like there on YouTube. I'm pointing somewhere.
Yeah, and look after yourselves until I see you again.
And I'm going to do your little 2-handed.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Fuck.